Hello YouTube, this isn't a video about Remembrance Sunday, but as it is Remembrance Sunday, I'd like to dedicate this video to my best friend's brother Darren, who died in a roadside bomb in Afghanistan and left behind 2 young children. He was a very vibrant and fun-loving and adventurous person, so I think he would approve of having a video such as this dedicated to him, as long as you ignore the whole part about gender that I'm going to talk about, because Darren he wasn't exactly a sort of progressive feminist sort of a chap. But it doesn't matter, no one deserves to die that way, and he was a fun-loving, charming young man who looked great in a uniform, and I'm very sorry that he's gone. I'm very sorry for everyone else that's gone in wars, and this is why we have Remembrance Sunday, and anyone else struck by the hypocrisy of observing Remembrance Sunday while we're actually in a war. Okay, hi! So I want to talk about two things. I've been busy this weekend. I've sort of been building up a big adventure board for myself, and a sort of inspiration board, and setting some goals for 2013. And I find that I'm more likely to stick to these sort of things if I let other people know about them, so I'd like to tell you about them. But firstly, I just wanted to talk about sort of gender and adventuring, which has sort of come to my attention from reading this book by Frosty Woolridge. And it wasn't that apparent that he's sort of a massive sexist as you're reading through his book. Because every so often he'll mention sort of 9 men that climbed Everest, and then the 10th woman that climbed Everest, and so he's throwing in female adventurers as though, women can be adventurous too, and don't think, ladies, that you've got an excuse because look at all these women before you. So I thought, well, this is great. This is an egalitarian sort of guy. But unfortunately, I've come to a point in his book where he starts recommending books, and he feels, for some reason, after giving 100 or his 99 top books about adventure, he then feels the need to sort of give a special section, adventure books for women, and then some adventure books for men as well. Now, obviously, there is a difference as a woman travelling than as a man, and as a woman you do need to be given some particular advice before you go travelling that men don't necessarily need to be given. As a woman, you're much more prone to sort of attacks from rapists, for example, than a man is. That's not to say men are not ever prone to attacks from rape, but statistically speaking. So you obviously need to be sort of wise and street savvy, and have sort of some sort of self-defense going on. And then obviously there are all the sort of feminine hygiene area of travelling. Sanitary products are not freely available in a lot of countries around the world, for example, developing countries particularly. What to do if you fall pregnant in the Middle East, God forbid. This sort of advice, makes sense that women need to be given specific advice about travelling. But this fucking prick, I was really liking Frosty Woolridge until I got to that bit. He recommends to men books such as The Life You Were Born to Live, Power of Intention, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and a book called Self-Reliance by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And then his books that he recommends to women are Travel Tips for the Sophisticated Woman, Best Girlfriend Getaways, Wanderlust and Lipstick, and Eat, Pray, Love. At one point he gets one of his female adventuring friends to come in and write a part of the book where she sort of cautions us to remember to take some eyeliner and some lipstick with us. I have no idea why people in their minds have such problem, but it happens both ways, and it happens to do with race as well, and sexuality. People have such problem viewing the life lessons of others as relevant to themselves, unless the other person is also a white female, in my case. It's so fucking bonkers that he felt the need, basically, like all of these wonderful books about sort of how to get what you want and using your intention in life and adventuring and all of this, and then when I better get something that's relevant to women, because God knows women can't look at the first man ever to climb Everest and feel like human beings there made an achievement. God knows a black man can't look at a white man climbing Everest and say, fucking human beings achieved something, I'm proud of us for this, I feel some ownership over this act. It's really bonkers. He keeps talking about how women can feel inspired by women that have gone before them, as though women are not inspired by men that have gone before them, and men would never look to a woman to feel inspired. What's that all about? What is gender division in inspiration all about? Clearly, I think it's important to have sort of people of a group that you identify with clearly visible achieving these things, and this is a good thing, but I don't need, like, to feel like we conquered Everest. I don't need a woman to have done it. You know, someone conquered Everest, that's a human achievement. It's got nothing to do with gender. Okay, sure, do you want to see my board? I can't turn around my thing, so hopefully I'm going to be able to sort of line it up properly. But what have I got? I've got some inspirational quotes. I'm going to unplug you. Didn't stop recording. Excellent. Alright, I've got some inspirational quotes such as Jack Kerouac, "The road is life." Lao Tzu, "A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step." Mark Twain, "Explore, dream, discover." And that quote from a t-shirt, "Life is uncertain, eat dessert first." And then right down at the bottom I've got a favourite by George Bernard Shaw, which is, "Life isn't about finding yourself, life is about creating yourself." So I've got myself a wee list of things to do in 2013. Stop smoking. I'm really annoyed that one's on there from 2012 because I gave up for 130 days and I managed to fall back into it. But, you know, going to keep persevering with that one. Learn to play the cello. Learn a new language. Take a teaching English as a foreign language course. Save money. Learn photography. Learn yoga. Get a car and bike licenses because I'm not going far without that. Write a journal. Meditate. And then I've got my sort of bucket list for the rest of my life. And oh my god, as soon as I'd got down to number 18, I thought of another 50 things that I want to do, so I don't have room on my board. But let's start with the Great American Road Trip, trek through the Amazon rainforest, swim with sharks, learn Italian, move to Italy for a year, backpack through Asia, write a novel, perform at a slam poetry event, get a motorcycle, get a tattoo, volunteer in Africa, live in Japan for a year, learn to surf, visit a Buddhist temple, survive in the wilderness with minimal equipment, learn to fish, walk on the Great Wall of China, have a kayaking camping adventure, and write a script, probably a movie script. And then over here I've got some pictures of places that I'd like to go. This is Provence in France, this is the Aurora Borealis, this is Tibetan prayer flags, this is the midnight sun in Scandinavia that I'd like to see, the Grand Canyon, we've got somewhere else, San Francisco, Golden Gate Bridge, Taj Mahal, Kerala in India, the Great Wall of China, the Giant's Causeway in Ireland, I think it's called Manu Picchu, and the Great Pyramids of Giza. But obviously I could have got like another 50 to 100 pictures on there of places that I'd like to go and things that I'd like to do before I die. I'm feeling much fucking better about my life since I decided this is what I'm going to do with my life. Now we're fucking cooking with gas. Now that I've got something I actually want to work towards, it's fucking on. I'm thinking about getting sort of some bar work in the evening, getting a second job lined up so that I can save more quickly, see if I can get sort of 50, 60 hours of work in per week, because I want these periods where I have to work to move on to be as short as possible. Cool. Yeah, sorry, kind of enthusiastic about my plans, so I thought I'd share them with you, or at least share a bucket list with you. But the most important thing really is to, like, sort of start doing these things like getting a driving licence, because I can't drive anywhere else until I've driven in Britain for 2 years, so I need to have a licence to get a car on the road, getting a motorcycle licence, learning to teach, having a qualification in teaching English as a foreign language so that if I apply to the Japanese exchange programme they're going to accept me, and even if I don't then I can set up sort of some sort of online teaching and make some extra money that way, or teach classes in my local area because I live in London and we've got shit tons of people that want to learn English in London. What else is on there? Yeah, write a journal and meditate. Those are sort of about awareness and about staying sort of true to the path and about keeping focus and building tools so that when I am sort of trekking through the Amazon rainforest that I'm lost, or I am sort of frightened in a Middle Eastern country as some woman's being dragged out in the street to be beheaded, I've got some sort of mental strength that I've developed over time, and a preparation and a perspective developed over time, because life isn't a game. As much fun as life can be, life isn't a game, and when you go out looking in the world you find things you don't necessarily want to find, along with all the things that you never knew you would find, along with all the things you set out to find in the first place. Cool. I'm going to go back to reading. I'm reading John Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie, which is the writer of Mice and Men, and it's his account of his travels through America for 3 months with his French poodle Charlie in a camper van, and all of his sort of experiences along the road. If you know any other sort of adventure tales like that, travel writings like that you think I'd enjoy, please do recommend them. And I hope you're all well.